Georgia. And of course it's raining. This is the first rainy day we had. This is about as far as we're going. We're going to go on down to the ocean. It's about 17 miles down. And we're in the historical district. We're on a Gray Line bus. And we just went through the Davenport House, which is right alongside of me here. And it's laid out in squares, so I just wanted to get some of this while the rest of them are inside. There's only one restroom for all these people, so everybody's in line. This is where Girl Scouting began in Savannah. And there's all kinds of flowers and stuff in the front yard. And it's called the Andrew Lost House. Just toured this house where the Girl Scouts originated, and this is the front yard. It's raining, but I think it'll take pretty good. And this is Savannah, Georgia. We're on a bus tour. Oh, well, there's most of Oglethorpe Street keeps going up there. Just to get some pictures here, it's raining, and we're going to go on down to... Yeah, Oglethorpe was the founder of Savannah. Yeah, I'll get it probably better when we get closer, but just in case. This is a dome of the City Hall. And it's 23 karat gold, I believe. Get it. Well, maybe I'll get it later, but that's the City Hall. We're running. Yeah, you can go down. Is built on a 40-foot cliff right off of the Savannah River. And we're going to go down there. Going to go down is called Ballast Block Street. When the boats would come back from England empty to pick up cotton and what have you, they would throw ballast blocks in their holes, and when they got here, naturally they'd throw them out. So this is Ballast Block Street. They're really grand.
They're English cobblestone.
English cobblestone, yeah. And this is the Savannah River, which raises and falls with the tide. Falls some 8 feet, and we're going to get a picture of this lady. I believe she was a sister of somebody who ran a...
There was a lighthouse.
There's a lighthouse, and that's what she's holding up, is supposedly she waved at the ships gone by in the day, and they had the lights on at night. And this is River Street, and because these cobblestones, it's kind of hard to hold it straight, but you can see it's just like anywhere else you go where they make all these old factories into stores and souvenirs and restaurants and etc. And I'm just letting it run. It's about 17 miles south of here to the ocean, and we're going to go down there as soon as we get done with this. I call it. There is a riverboat here, but it's not running at this time of the year. an excursion boat. And there it is. They call it the Savannah Queen, amazingly enough. And that bridge goes over into North Carolina. We're gonna, I got my gun there. I'm gonna try to get this bridge. I forget the name of it, but we will find it. Take it out. But it crosses over into North Carolina. It's fairly new, apparently, in the way it looks.
I think I passed the thing.
Down, as you can see, there's no parking on this street. But you can see they parked there anyway.
Christmas on the river.
There's some more of those English cobblestones is what they are. They use them for ballast. They use them for ballast on the ship. This is what they call a factor's ramp. And the people that would stand up on those ramps, and when the wagons with the bales of cotton and so forth went underway, they bid on them from these ramps.
Let's see what this.
Through to the factor's ramp where...
There's a good picture of the road.
Yeah, I think I got it.
The river.
And they used to come down through here and go on down behind us where I showed you those overpasses. They used to stand on them. And this river street is like all, and practically every town of any size that you ever go to has got the same thing. I'm going to try to take this through the wet windshield, but this is the other side of the street, of River Street. This is all filled from that curb out. The boats used to come right up to where that curb is or thereabouts. And they say the river was only about 8 feet deep. They dredged the river and it's now 40 feet deep. Bell, it's sitting up here, and they used to ring it at like 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and then the people knew when to eat. They ate their big meal at noontime, which was dinner, and they'd eat a cold meal at night.
Now let's get this wing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what I need on is my light.
Oh, I'm still recording here. See, it's been raining. They say they get 42 inches of rain a year down here. And they got most of it last month. And it's been raining the last couple days. Comes up, it runs right over this road. We just went to a place where they're cleaning it up and we get it on the way down. visitor center, someplace right here. Just past it. I think we're coming to the beach. That's an anchor, a big anchor there. Come to the beach area, and there's the ocean. This is Tybee, I guess, Island, Tybee. And the ocean is just to our left. We're going to try to figure a way to get down to the beach. It says rules of the beach, but the way it looks here, there ain't any. There's the ocean and there's the beach.
Boy, the waves coming in today.
Really bad. Or good, I would guess.
We're going to back up and we'll see.
It says from this point on, leave only your footprints in the sand and return soon. That's what it says right there. This is the beach, all right. It looks like they've had a storm or something out of this world. And there's the ocean. And this is the, looks like the tide has come all the way up and went across this. And these houses are on stilts. I don't know whether I could do that one or not. So I'm going to take a picture here of the ocean. There's the beach. There'll be no swimming today until they have many lifeguards out there. Because of my water that way. This, I'm not sailboat. They must have pretty good storm because on the highway we came in, they had it partially blocked where they were cleaning up after the tide went across the highway. Kinds of seashells today, yeah.
Well,
sure
I'm not going out there to get them.
There it is. I'm going to run because it's spiked and I'm going to run out of film before long. Looks like you can turn on there, back up, and go down. They must have had a goodie today.
Yeah.
I think you have to go back out.
I gotta go all the way to the other end.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, this is our last view of the Atlantic Ocean from this parking lot. And I am not going seashell hunting. And the poor seabirds, it's so windy, they're just walking out of our way. No swimming today, guys.
Guess you have
Oh, there's a way out of here this way.
Yeah, and you notice the houses are all built where you live upstairs. And they got, sometimes they close in the bottom, I guess, to use when the tide ain't up or something.
There's some lots for sale.
Yeah, sure enough.
It is for sale. And you can note that they just park their cars and that underneath. And the living area is on top.
Slow, and I'll take a side view. Okay, go right ahead. I'm just going to let it run as we go by down through here. Must have had a real high tide before we got here because they're cleaning the road and the beach is closed. Notice all the houses are here, they're built up so the water can go right under them.
Let's go.
We got you where you just came from, but that's all right.
These are all kinds of little shops, hot dog shops and fish shops and sand dollar inns and that are along the seashore. We even have a department store. And I can only go this way.
Do it one more time. Run your window down. Look this. This is actually part of Georgia. There's about 3 or 4, or I don't know just how many of these are main islands that people live. They call them residential islands. And if you include these in with Savannah, they come up to about close to 250,000 people. But in Savannah proper is about 150 million.
Hunter's House, Restaurant and Lounge.
So as you can see out here on the street, the tide's been all the way up in here. Beachcomber Inn, yeah, I'll bet. But yeah, I don't think I could do this one. This is property along the beach front that we just drove down. This is just away from the ocean. Notice they got them all up so the water can go right under. This was in the middle of town, believe it or not. Seaweed and all the junk up out of the ocean. He dumped it right out here on the street. Yeah, there's a big anchor. He dumped it right out on the street. I guess you wear your bikini to bed in case you gotta swim out. They're building it up high too. Putting it up on stilts. And I'm sure that swamp that we're running through, they call it a marshland. They don't call it swamp, they call it marshland. So when the high tide comes in, it's got some place to go. All washed up from high tide, come right up on the road. Fort Pelosky. This is alongside of the road where the tide has come right up against this road. This is amazing. This is Fort Pelosky that we're going by. We'll try to get some details on it later.
It has a moat around it.
Yeah, it's got the moats around it, all right.
This was built, you got on?
Yeah.
This was built by General Lee after he came out of military officers training.
Towards the Coast Guard, but as you can see, the high tide has come up and run over this way. And the wind.
They must have had a good storm here.
They must have had a good storm just before we got here. You can see this on the road. And look at the egrets down here. Look at those birds. My Lord.
It's worth coming down here just to see. Those are all seagulls.
These are all seagulls. But they've been drove in out of the sea because of the storm. Going, look at them going. This is not the place for me. There they go. There they go. We ought to get some spots on the cars out of this one. See where that water brought that right up here. And here's the Coast Guard. And I think this is about as far as we can go.
I guess I can back up and go the other way.
They're having a ball or whatever they're getting out there. You can see over between those trees, you can see where the wind and the tide and what have you brought everything up there. Camping area, but you sure couldn't use it today. Well, if this is going to show or not, but you can see where the tide has went over this road. They're cleaning it up ahead of us. We know that because he's cleaning it up when we came down. You can see where the debris out in the middle of the road yet, where it just ran over. There's a sign up here. It says high tide, road may be flooded. See the flashing lights ahead of us. That's behind the cleanup crews that's out here with a truck loader type bulldozer and dump trucks picking the stuff up off the street. Where the tide has brought everything in.
Are we going?
And there's the cleanup crews. Yeah, slow down as you go down here and I'll try to get some in front of it. Getting the stuff off of the street. And I'll try to get this down below here. This is debris left by the tide coming over the road. And they're picking it up. Got one lane of traffic. wrong side of the street because they're directing us that way.
They're being English drivers.
Yeah. We're heading back towards Savannah. The other end where they're directing traffic, letting one lane through at a time. You think it hadn't rained here?
We are in Savannah proper.
Yeah, you want to go this way, I think.
This way? Okay.
I think we could have went the other way. No, this is it. Here's TTIF. This is right.
Right, bud.
I knew it all the time. Yeah, about time, ain't it?
Yeah, if you want to be there.
Yeah, we're back in the Savannah proper. That's the Vietnam Memorial right there. That's the newest stuff down there. But these are all copies. Historic copies. And this, we're riding along the top of a 40-foot cliff. The buildings you see there when we went down the river road a while ago, they're about 3-4 stories down on the other side. And it was deliberately built on a 40-foot cliff. And there's that bell we talked about a while ago. If you don't want to walk down that hill, I don't know who really does.
Maybe you'll tell us.
We're going over to North Carolina,
South Carolina,
across this bridge. This is an amazing bridge. We actually went across it last night, didn't have the camera with us. It goes up so high because the ocean-going vessels has to go under it. And they tell us that during the War of the States, they didn't burn down Savannah, but they went over here and burned everything down on the other side of the river. They traded them cotton for it. Here's the bridge. It don't open, it just is very high up. All these canals, rivers, septic, go out to the ocean. They say, don't follow these swamps, they're marshes. That's the wettest marsh I ever seen. This Hutchinson Island, there's nothing left to have. That's all there is. on the state line. Oh, shit. Close the window. Getting cool.
It is. I don't know what that's up there for. Casino win?
Yeah, there's a casino gambling. That's a little Las Vegas, it says.
Well,
There's just fields and fields of fir trees down here. Not only here in South Carolina, but over in Georgia. And they just grow these trees, they chop them up, make them into particle board. They do have one farm we've seen over in Georgia, they call it the Christmas farm, but the trees are further apart there. That's what I'm going to try to do, but the camera went out. Okay, this little dirigible is on a string and it's hooked to the casino. Everywhere you look down here, it's bingo parlors. They don't call these swamps, they're markets. And we're coming to that bridge. And I'll get a picture upriver this time. We got a picture downriver. We're coming out of South Carolina going back into Georgia. I wipe the lens with it on record. I'm going to pick you up river. I don't know if I can get over this or not. We're coming out of South Carolina going back into Georgia. And this is upriver. This is so that the ocean-going vessels can get underneath this bridge. This little bitty roundabout right at the bottom of the bridge here.
There's Savannah.
And there is Savannah. Yeah. Making it 360, we're going to go right under it. And there's Mary's nose. And there's so much yellow fever and what have you down here, the people figured that you shouldn't live close to a cemetery. So we started moving away. As a result, during the War of the States, between the states, they bivouacked in here. And some of the young soldiers with nothing more to do went around and changed some of the dates on the tombstones. They got one person in here, 1,700 and something years old. And they changed quite a few of them. So if you go by these tombstones, there's some pretty old people that's down here. Street alongside of it, with all the moss hanging off the mulberry trees, mostly oak trees, mostly. And this that we're coming to is a doggy drinking fountain. You come up there with your dog, and you push the button on top and the water runs out in the bottom and your doggy can get a drink.
Okay.
When this was laid out by Oglethorpe, city of Savannah, he laid it out with these squares, and there originally was 4 squares. And the whole city was laid out straight through from there. Then it finally grew to 24 squares, and now it's back to 22. I don't know what happened to the other 2. And this one is Whitefield Square, and there's a church on just every one of them.
Oh, this is where they have a lot of weddings, in this gazebo. In the spring and in the fall, during the summer.
And these are the gingerbread houses, as they call them. And they're all over the whole United States. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one, only this has got a tennis court in it, but there's a statue here. And it's to...
In Spanish-American War.
And this park as we go by. Somewhere up there in the middle is a statue of Oglethorpe.
Original house that gingerbread isn't. The ones that are down on these houses are built sidewalk level, and when you go in, that's your kitchen and all the other unitarian rooms that you need. Upstairs is the parlor, and the third one's the bedroom, and they have no... Go back here. They're all built down, and the living quarters and that were upstairs. It has all kinds of ornate decorations on it.
Was Sherman's headquarters.
In this cathedral, or this church.
Right.
St. John's Episcopal Church. These are some of the original houses with all this ornate wrought iron on them, and as you can see, the street level was their cooking area, and they lived on the 2nd and 3rd floors.
Okay, Orleans Square. This is another one of those squares. Which are right in the middle of the street.
Telfair Square or something.